Stay tuned for The Soul of Generation X, brought to you by i3 Communications.
Welcome back to another episode of The Soul of Generation X. We thank you once again for tuning in here on a nice and breezy, cool evening with my partner, Lenny. Lenny, how's it going, brother?
Hey, my friend, how's it going? Glad to be here with you once again. Thank you for having me.
Always glad to have you, Lenny. It's really getting a little warm out there. You know, got a little rain today, but I guess we're kind of hitting those summer months. How's it looking over your way?
Well, it's hot, rainy. We're hitting that time of year where the weather is changing from nice and cool breeze to hot, steamy, and humid. So, the dog days of summer are upon us.
Yes, it is. And the dog days are upon us anyway with this administration we've been dealing with for the last few months. What do you think?
Well, this administration is the most, by far, the most incompetent, unqualified, unprofessional administration since I've been a voter. Maybe Richard Nixon. I don't even think Richard Nixon administration was that incompetent. At least they weren't traitors. Let me just put it like that.
I've been hearing things like that too. Yeah.
Right. Richard Nixon might have been a traitor, but I don't think a lot of people around him, they tried to salvage the country so it wouldn't fall into the abyss. Unlike this administration, who has put a marker in the ground, United States for sale, name the price. Yeah. So, yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, this is not good.
Yeah, I got
somebody
you.
said, "Hey man, what's in a handshake? What's in a handshake, my brother?" I mean, when you shake somebody's hand, you reach out there and you shake a man's hand. That's
right.
what I was always taught. Look a man in the eye, shake his hand.
Yeah.
When I graduated from high school and secondary education, you graduated from high school and secondary education. You went up to the podium and you shook the chancellor's hand and the president of the university or the high school principal's hand, and he handed you graduation, diploma, a degree, and off you were on your next adventure in life. So, the graduation, this is the graduation time of year, and I'm sure the students in high school and college are happy to graduate after putting in 4 or 5 years of maybe 6 years of hard work. So Trump got to give the commencement address at West Point a couple weeks ago.
Oh man!
There was Trump. Everyone was dressed in their nice military outfit, and here comes Donald Trump in his suit. I think he had a blue suit and a red MAGA hat.
Yeah.
I mean, just no decorum, no. I mean, come on.
No respect.
There's no respect for the men and women that were about to go serve and fight for this country.
Exactly.
So after, normally what you do, and what Joe Biden and what Barack Obama did, they stayed and they shook every one of those graduates' hands.
Yes, they did.
I think there were 1,000, 1,200 men and women who were graduating that particular day. But no, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump said he had to go deal with Russia and China. Now, he couldn't stay around to shake those graduates' hands. The same men and women who were going to defend his sorry ass. And to defend this
Great way
country.
to put it. Great way to put it.
But he had more pressing business to take care of. He had to go deal with Russia and China.
Russia.
So about, I guess, maybe he dealt with Russia and China on his watch or his cell phone, because 2 hours later he was out golfing.
Yeah.
on the golf course. And okay, so I'm trying to get a guy the benefit of the doubt, but he never did deal with Russia, China. That was an excuse not to even acknowledge the young men and women who were getting ready to go serve this country, protect his sorry ass. He couldn't even stand there and shake their hand or give them a salute for what they were about to go through and what all the achievements they have done. So, you could imagine. I know in my mind, if I was a military graduate from military school and I had this guy as my commander in chief, I would feel some type of way about it.
I don't think I would go. Honestly, I don't think I would go.
Right. I just thought I thought it was lazy. See, you got to say this guy's lazy. He is so lazy. He doesn't even read the briefings in the morning, the National Defense briefing. He is a lazy individual until he wants to get on the golf course. Then he peps up like he's drinking Red Bull or something.
Well, then you bring that up. Do you think? Okay, he's saying he's lazy. Do you think he even has the cognitive ability to comprehend any of that? That might be why he's not reading. You're hearing all these things. He made fun of President Biden, and some people say, different people age in different ways. You have different people some people, gray hair comes, their voice changes. They might stutter a little bit, but their cognitive skills are still there, which, of course, President Biden had some issues. I mean, he's elderly, but his mind was still there. And then on another hand, you have some other people who can spit out conversation and speeches as if they're rapping, but as far as comprehending or knowing what they're talking about, that goes out the window, which is what we're looking at here. So do you think your president now even could, do you think he even knows what he's doing half of the time?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even understand the executive orders that he signed. He doesn't even read them. Somebody tells him what it is that he's signing. He just signs it. Like I said, if you go back to what we talked about some weeks ago, we talked about the puppet master, the people behind the scenes that are pulling the strings. So, no, he has no clue. He has no idea. Just like most people that he has surrounded himself with have no clue at all about anything that they're doing.
No clue.
You got the education secretary, Linda McMahon. She has no clue what she's doing. None at all. Then you got...
but she knows how to write a check.
Yeah, she knows how to write a check,
Yeah, she knows how to write a check. That's what it's all about.
Guys like Hegseth and Kash Patel. These guys have, Kash Patel wants the FBI now to start training with soccer players and going to the gym, working out most of the time, and because he's jacked up now, he's all jacked up on steroids and looking crazy in the face every time you see him. But see, these people have no idea. Even the head of the guy that's over the agency of FEMA, what's his name? David Richardson.
Okay.
David Richardson. I don't know too much about him, but I do know this. This is all I need to know about him. David Richardson is so clueless. He did not know that we had hurricane seasons. Now, this is the guy that Trump has put over FEMA, who has no idea that we have hurricane seasons in the United States. So look out, Florida. Look out, New Orleans, South Carolina, North Carolina, all up and down the eastern seaboard. You're in trouble. You're in some deep doo-doo this year for 2025 hurricane season. Not only that, but they have slashed the budget for FEMA. They have laid off or fired over 2,000 FEMA workers. So good luck in having somebody come out and look at your property when the hurricane ravages and tears the roof off.
Right.
Good luck for getting in contact with somebody to try to get some funds in to help you feed your family and restore all the food that you lost out the refrigerator. Good luck to you guys with someone coming by to get all the trash debris up. All right. So when you got incompetent people like this guy Richardson, who has no idea that hurricane season starts in June and ends in October, but you got him as the head of the agency. All right, as the head of the agency to oversee disasters in the United States. All I can say, hey, I feel sorry for you people. All I can tell you is prepare the best you can. Get your blue tarps ready. Get your generator ready. Get your gas ready. Your extra food, because you're going to be on your own. And the sad part about it, North Carolina, and I visited the part of North Carolina just got devastated about a year or so ago. Those people still hurting. All those people in Brevard, North Carolina, and all that part of that Western Carolina, because I've frequented there a few times. I've worked out there a few times. The Bat Cave, most probably never heard of that, but it's a town called the Bat Cave in Asheville, North Carolina. All that out there in the mountain there. So the thing is, they were devastated. Homes ripped away, lives upended, and just got devastated. So the governor, the newly elected Democratic governor, asked the government for the money that was already allocated up under the Biden administration. They said they need that money to help those people recover. Right. And you know what they were told by the Trump administration? No. Because another lie that was propagated, the FEMA people didn't want to help anybody with a Trump sign in their yard. Okay, all right, hold on. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Excuse me. Okay, first of all, that doesn't make any sense. Why would the waters in the wind take down the house but leave the Trump sign up in the yard? Okay. How would they know whose house is who? I mean, does that really, you know what I'm saying? That was the logic that Donald Trump went on, because the FEMA workers refused to go to help the people who had the Trump signs in the yard. I don't think no signs or nobody was left in anybody's yard. If the wind and the water took the house down, you think it's going to leave the sign in the yard? So that was a big propagated lie. That was all politics, not to help those people out there in Western Carolina. Right. But that section of the state went overwhelmingly for Trump. And folks, this is what you get. I'm sorry that you're going to suffer to it, but the people in Florida, New Orleans, all the rest of your states, you're in for a rough and wild ride this hurricane season.
Didn't Sarah Huckabee out of Arkansas ask for some assistance as well, and she was refused?
Yes, she was refused. She was turned down. And, of course, Arkansas was pure red hot red. They went overwhelmingly for Trump. So they got turned down because, of course, that's tornadoes come cut right through the middle of the state. It's like it does in Kansas, Arkansas, Tennessee, all those states.
Right.
But ruby red hot red.
Red hot.
Red hot red. So this is what you get. I thought about this today. I told somebody this. I said, if you ever been in trouble with your mom or daddy, and you know you're in trouble, but yet you're gonna do it anyway, and they put that belt on you, and they hit you across your backside, tear your ass up, and you ever run down the hallway or you hold that cry, you go and you hold it
while it's burning, right?
And you just hold it. You hold it. Then when you get outside, you let it.
Yeah.
But that's what these people are realizing. You get smacked down by Donald Trump. You hold it, and you know that he's doing you in. But yeah, you go back and you do it again.
Yeah.
You know, I always say
Over and
this
over.
here. If the movie was bad the first time, the sequel is going to be even worse.
Right.
You know, we've seen this before. So, this guy is going back to your point, with your first question.
Mm-hmm.
These people that he has surrounded himself with are the most incompetent people in the highest position in government.
Right.
Let me, for the people who didn't hear this, you can never put incompetent people who don't do their homework, people who don't study. You wouldn't want somebody flying you in a jumbo jet anywhere without the proper training, without the proper education, without having experience in doing it.
Right.
So why would you elect people or a person who is not capable of doing the simplest task? This is what you get. This is the government that you have now. And we're stuck with it for another 3 years.
Well, you
And
of
God
course
help us.
know why. I mean, we know why every time something like this comes up. We know what the reason is, and we try to skate over it, politically correctly answer it. If we're talking, we're doing our, we're as we do daily. We switch roles, um, and have a certain personality here. We need to have it work. But we know
Right.
the ultimate reason
Right.
why, and we sit there and say, "Why would you do?" Which is what we're going to get into a little bit later.
Right.
But we know the ultimate reason why, and people of various nationalities and colors, the real people, they know it's just not those black people.
Right.
They just think it's just racism. No, it's plenty of people out there can see stuff. You have it a deep entrenchment in your heart
Mm-hmm.
that you are sensing entitlement, privilege, and you don't see somebody else that is good enough in your history, your eyes to, you only see them for a couple of things as entertaining and various, sports, but you don't see that person,
Right.
doing something that you think you can only do. So you in turn check that box for the most, I would say, incompetent,
Mm-hmm.
unintelligent human being to ever sit in the Oval Office.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, when you get that, you're going to get your words, Lenny, a smorgasbord of other incompetent,
Yes.
intelligent folks.
Yes.
You open up a circus, like they say, right? What you gonna see in there? Clowns, right?
Clowns.
You got a circus. If you didn't see, and that's what we deal with every day, a circus. So
Right.
that's what we do. So we'll get into that later. But
Right.
I just had to add that because we know why.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So the national debt. Well, let me get to this point here. The big beautiful bill
Oh man, not that
that
big
we hear
beautiful
so
bill.
much about, that the Donald Trump has labeled as, I guess, the best thing since sliced bread. Folks, is nothing but a con. There's no. Don't believe it when they tell you, when you sit around and you listen to this dark web of these people on the far right or the near right, whatever you want to call it, saying this bill is the best thing going for you. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt the people in rural America the worst. All right. Hospitals going to get closed. All right. If you live in I'm gonna just use Arkansas and Kansas again. If you live in the middle of Kansas, you got one hospital, and they take Medicaid and Medicare, and with them stripping Medicaid and Medicare, cutting it, you're at risk. your little city, your little town are at risk of losing the only hospital that you know of within the next 200, 300 miles.
Right.
All right. People in West Virginia and Kentucky and in these coal mine states that depend so heavily on SNAP and food stamps, get ready. It's going to hit you. All right. They are slicing the SNAP benefits and the welfare in half. They're going to require you to go to work. All right. And when I say work, I'm not just talking about I can go do a couple hours at the sharing center. They're going to ask you physically work, get a paycheck, pay taxes out of that. The same thing with the Medicare recipients. All right. You're going to have a work requirement as well. All right. So, this is, and we say this, we've been saying this, I've been saying it, and I've been saying this for weeks. This is going to crush, the elderly. This is going to crush the people who are marginalized. And when I say marginalized, the poor people. This is going to really hurt that guy who's driving that tractor trailer, who's hauling that cement with the cement mixer. All right.
Right.
Who's working these construction jobs? The guy that's stocking grocery stores at night. All right. The guy that's taking on that extra security job at a restaurant or at a department store. All right. It's going to hurt that guy that's working that late night shift at Denny's or Waffle House. All right. This is going to affect you in the worst way. If your insurance is already in a getting hit, you might not have insurance after this.
Right.
You're every day you walk out your house without insurance is a day you're taking a chance of losing your life or something happening to you, and you have no recourse. So, this big beautiful bill that these people are telling is a lie. Don't believe it. And we're breaking it down to where you can understand that they don't have your best interests at heart, folks. They don't care about you if you get sick. They don't care about you if your mother, your grandmother is dying or your child is dying. They don't care if you can't get your prescription drugs. They just don't care. And what's the reason behind that? You may ask. Well, it's hatred. It's evilness. And we go back to what Isaac just said. People voted for this. People didn't read the fine print before they pulled that lever.
They didn't intend to read it.
They didn't intend to read it. You see, this is what blindness and prejudice gets you. It gets you something that you never intended for it to affect you. But now it's been laid out right in your front doorstep. And we have to say it that way because that's what it is. It is what it is, as they say.
Right.
You
gotta say it that way because
it's not going to get any better. Because along with the tariffs, and I'm going to just weave this in, along with the tariffs, this yo-yo economy that we have,
right?
We got a yo-yo working on a yo-yo economy. All right, he just raised the tariffs up to 50%. So Walmart just got a spine and a backbone to finally say we're gonna have to raise the prices. For everyone that shops at Walmart, and nothing against Walmart. I like Walmart. Walmart's a good place. But now you're gonna have to your prices are going up. What you pay at Walmart is going up. What you pay at Target is going up. What you pay at your local grocery store is going up. All right. What you steel, aluminum, that's going up. That soda that Pepsi, that Coca-Cola you like that you paid $1 for, you might be paying $3 for that can of soda now because aluminum was going up.
Right.
All this is going to affect the American worker. You're not going to escape this. And don't believe the hype when they talk, there's no tax on tips. All that's going to run out. They only give you a couple of years off that. Then they're going to take it away. But the tax break who's the real benefactors of this? It's the rich.
Yeah.
It's the millionaires and the billionaires.
Right.
All right. They're the ones going to profit from this big beautiful bill, as they like to say. But it's awful for you. It's awful for that bus driver, for that truck driver, that taxi driver, that Uber driver, that guy that's out there digging a foot or digging the trenches, that guy that's up there on the power lines connecting power. That's awful for you. That's awful for that mom who has to work 3 jobs to take care of kids.
Yeah.
That's awful for that divorced dad who has to work 2 and 3 jobs to take care of himself and to pay child support or alimony. That's awful for him. Listen, we're just trying to make it hit home. We laying it bare, we're laying it open.
Right.
We're not talking in platitude. We're not using a whole bunch of numbers and figures because all that gets everything polluted. We're just giving you the raw data, giving it to you straight. So the big beautiful bill and the tariffs was going to raise everything up, put people out of work. You got a lot of longshoremen lost their jobs, being laid off. You got truckers being laid off. You got people that work the railroad jobs being laid off. You got warehousemen that are have probably lost their jobs, all because an egomaniac, an egotistical egomaniac who don't have, as my grandmother would say, don't have the sense he was born with, to upend the American economy because why? He was jealous of Joe Biden. I'm just calling it like it was. Joe Biden helped turn this economy around.
Right.
And this man was jealous. And he would rather destroy it than to give anybody else credit. And it's too bad that, people have to suffer. But again, we go right back. You brought it on yourselves. Exactly. Somebody said, well, this is not America. Yes, it is America. This is America in 2025. What you see is what you get.
America spelled with 3 K's instead of a C, right?
Yes.
America, K-K-K-A?
Yes.
That's where I spell it.
That's where it is.
I mean,
that's the way it is.
I'm not sugarcoating it. Nobody sugarcoats anything with us. So we're not in the, like Letty said, we're here to, all of our listeners, we're here to help you understand what's going on in a simpler way, instead of throwing all the figures out to you that you're hearing, where you're not hearing on network news, and I don't know how much you're hearing even on some cable news. So you're hearing it raw, pretty much, which is the way it should really be, I mean, really, you can. They put things on the internet, for House of Representatives, Senate. You can actually follow a bill through its, course. It starts in House of Representatives, and it goes to the Senate, and from there it goes. You can actually follow this stuff online, and there's no excuse. You have a phone, you can follow these things. So you can see what's going on, see what's happening, so they don't pull the shade over your head, the wool over your head, as they say, and what's going on. Like we've been hearing all this stuff about Elon Musk is backing out, and he's not doing this. But then you said last week that there's, in that 1,000-page bill, that there is a section for Elon Musk to continue getting billions of dollars in contracts. Can you expound on that?
Well, yeah. I mean, his Starlink company gets billions of dollars in contract from the U.S. government. And matter of fact, and again, people don't. If they're moving their lips, 2 things. If the bill is long, then you know what's wrong. And if they're moving their lips, they're lying. Okay, so listen, I'm going to be straight with you. What you hear, what you probably heard, or what you hear in the news that Elon is all ticked off with Trump and he's against the bill and he's trashing the bill. Listen, that's an old tactic. That's good cop, bad cop. Good cop, bad cop. I'm going to trash the bill in public to make it seem like I'm at odds with you, but behind the scene, I want it to pass because I know you're going to increase the Pentagon's budget from 997 billion to over over 1 trillion or maybe 11 trillion dollars, and I'm getting some of that money with these contracts that I'm going to get, for getting you in office. So, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the noise and the so-called. And I was watching the mainstream media today. They was like, "Oh, he's against Trump and he's against the bill." I mean, every night I'm like, and I'm sitting and listening to these. You guys are just suckers. I mean, you guys will not last a minute in on the streets in real society. I mean, you can't even see a okie doke when it's an okie doke. I just don't understand. I don't understand because if I want something done, really, if I want something done bad enough, what you do? You talk against it. But behind the scene, man, I'm so glad we got that bill passed, man. Because man, I look at all the contracts I'm getting. My company's gonna boom. He doesn't care about Tesla. Tesla's just a sideshow to him, sidebar to him. He's making his money through the government. And listen, you can't buy enough Teslas, all right, to compete with the money he's getting from the U.S. government. All right, so he doesn't. People say, "Oh, he's losing in Tesla, and Tesla's losing money." He can't ask about that. Tesla's just a side piece. He makes his money through the government. And the more contracts he can get, the richer he becomes. All right. So, yeah, I said, you asked me the question last week. The bill is going to pass. And these senators, because it's in the Senate now, getting up, I don't agree with this, and I'm a physical conservative hawk. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No. In Trump's first term in office, he ballooned the deficit up, the debt up to he spent 7.1, I think it was $7.1 trillion in his first term.
You're talking about going back.
Yeah, his first term he blew the deficit up for 7.1 trillion. That was part to do with COVID but the largest part of it was the tax cuts that he gave to the filthy rich. So this bill here will balloon the deficit up to $3.5 trillion. And this is just not even his 6 month in office.
So, have you heard, still on this beautiful bill mess that it is, have you heard anything or got any breaking news of any assisted living facilities, nursing homes, anything on the medical side, any significant things going on?
Well, I can tell you this here. If this bill passes, which I believe it will, I'm pretty sure it's going to pass, start making people, if you have parents or grandparents in nursing home, start making preparations to find another place for them to go. Because, as I said earlier, they estimate over 700 hospitals, most in rural areas, are going to close that deal with Medicaid and Medicare.
Red areas?
A lot of your nursing homes.
Did they estimate red?
Yeah, in the rural areas, yeah. It won't take long for them to close because once the money is gone and dried up, it's over. You got nursing homes that are going to close up. You got, like I said, you got people on SNAP benefits and welfare, and the people that were on disability, Um, you know, the veterans, you know, the veterans and their mental health.
Right.
You know, that's going to get dried up. So, you know, again, you know, it all goes back to decisions. You know, you can give your life for this country. You can lay it all on the line, and you get a person like Donald Trump and his crew and Pete Hegseth and Cash Patel and Kristi Noem and Linda McMahon and these clowns, these jokers.
Let me ask you real quick, Lenny. What is the, coming from a man who's traveled the world as you have, what is the fascination you think Donald Trump has with Kristi Noem? And I want you to be honest.
Well, she offers herself, and no offense to any woman, but she offers herself to him. She's like a trophy, like someone he would put in a trophy case. You know, she's the white woman that looks decent, looks good to him in his eyesight. Who panders and caters to him, and that's what he loves. He loves for women, especially, to cater to him and pander to him and look up to him like he's a god. And you know, and if you ever listen to these cabinet meetings, you know, they're so disgusting. You just got to listen to one.
Oh yeah,
And, you know, if it wasn't for his leadership, Pam Bondi is the worst.
She was
if it
just
wasn't for his
ridiculous.
leadership, the leadership of Donald Trump,
Oh, come
and
on.
I'm just going to lay prostrate out for him and just lay bare it all because his leadership is this. His
We
leadership
heard the
is that.
same one. Yeah, that
She is
was
disgusting.
she is
She is absolutely disgusting.
I've heard some women that I know online, some friends online, the way they describe her. I mean, you might as well just it's like a knife cutting through hot butter.
Yeah.
I mean, these women, they can't stand her. And the term disgusting, they say she takes us back to, and I don't understand. I mean, well, I do understand it. It's about a payday. You know it. It's about a payday. That's all this is about. It's about a payday. You're going to take from those who have less than you to pay those who already have more. And you're going to take the food and out of mouth of babes, and
Yeah.
and you're going to let food rot.
Yeah.
That's scheduled to go around the world to help others. You're going to just, so we know what it's about.
Right.
That's what we're a podcast of no sugarcoating. We don't have time to sugarcoat. Nobody ever sugarcoated with us, did they?
Oh no.
No, and they still don't. We don't have time to be politically correct. We're gonna tell you just like it is. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you, we're talking about Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem is not a bad looking woman.
No.
She's not, and I don't think she's fully Caucasian.
No.
Anyway.
No.
And I saw a before and after picture that they said that she had some work done, and she actually looked better in the before picture.
Yeah.
So are these things that Donald Trump is bringing these women in some type of harem and saying you got to get this and get that? And because I looked at the before picture of her, which you're going to see, and she looked better in the before picture.
Well,
So
maybe her self-esteem was low, or maybe she feel that she had to measure up to Melania's standard in order to get a position in the cabinet. I don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is fully white. I think she is mixed. I think she might have some Mexican descent in her. I don't think she's a fully white woman.
what about Tulsi Gabbard?
Tulsi Gabbard, I don't think she's fully white. I think she's mixed with a Native American.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I really do.
So why is your commander in chief overlooking these qualities? Are they pledging to the white god or something that he's overlooking these? Because we just described, when you think back what we just described over the last 2 minutes, think, Lane. We just described 3 marginalized women,
Yeah.
non-white marginalized women who are part of this administration. So what does he not see, or what's going on there?
Well, I got to put it like this here. In order to understand the women, I gotta pivot to Marco Rubio.
Okay,
Now, Marco Rubio is Cuban.
right.
He's from Cuban descent. His parents came from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up in Miami. He speaks Spanish. He represents the Cuban people.
Mm-hmm.
But because Marco Rubio has laid himself bare open and basically denounced his heritage. Marco Rubio has basically denounced his heritage to his Cuban brothers and sisters. So you have to realize that these people had to denounce basically their heritage, who they truly are, in order to be a part of Trump's cabinet. Now, when I say denounce, now they might not have came out and say, I'm not gonna mention that I'm Native American, part Native American, or part Mexican, but their policies and their support of his policies, that's all he needed to hear from.
Mm-hmm.
They support his policy. Marco Rubio, people are deported. They just signed the court just granted where Trump can cancel all the agreements that were made for the Cubans, the Haitians, the Venezuelans, and the rest of them to come to this country.
Right.
He can send them back. Now, I'm looking to see how this is going to play in South Florida with Marco Rubio
Okay.
and the Cuban people. So basically, he had to renounce himself, and I think that Kristi Noem, and because I think she has some Mexican in her, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think Tulsi Gabbard is part Native American. She has some Indian in her. And even you take J.D. Vance's wife, who's clearly
Middle
a
Eastern.
Muslim. She's
Right.
Muslim.
Right.
And then for, to sit there, all of them sit there and take that abuse on a daily basis. All of them get discriminated against on a daily basis.
But Lenny, think, it's not abuse. That abuse is going right into their checking account.
Yeah. That's
You
what I'm
know
saying.
that?
They're willing
That's what
to
it's
take
all
it.
about.
They're willing to
That's
take
what
it,
it's all about.
and they sold out for the money. They sold out for the position.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it's all
That is
about.
what it's. And you think about it. Many of these people, that say first thing they start describing, their background. Oh, so and so has an Ivy League education from so and so. They did 4 years here. They did 3 years. Blah blah, and blase and blase. And when you think about it, what about just getting that common man, that common lady, that there should be some kind of new requirement for House and Senate, state level, national level. Just because you have an Ivy League degree,
Right.
does that give you empathy? You know what I mean? Does that give you, that doesn't guarantee that you would be a public servant that's
Right.
needed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it all boils down to, we sugarcoat things. Well, you hear them sugarcoat, but it all boils down to, most of the time, racism and opportunistic, things where you just said, how can these women sit through that? Well, they sit through that so they can get on that Learjet and
Yeah.
fly to their vacation capital, wherever they want to be. They put up with that.
Right.
So
Yeah,
they can. I mean, look
Yeah.
at Melania. Didn't she sign some type of book deal for $30 million or something like that?
Yeah.
And look what she put up with to get to that point. Okay, and it paid off.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
this woman was she came over from was it
France,
the
Paris, somewhere. She was from French.
I thought it was
Was she Yugoslavian or
somewhere. I thought it was somewhere near Russia. I don't.
her,
But anyway,
Bosnia?
she was maybe, but putting up with your taco chicken president, as you call it, has given her a $30 million payday all of her own.
Right.
You know, I mean that. You know, I'm sure she has more, maybe, but that's a pretty good payday. But
Yeah.
that's why they do what they do.
But my
They don't
thing,
care about us.
Is it worth it in the end? Is it worth?
But they don't. But Lindsay,
I know
they don't care.
They don't care because they have no scruples. They have put their scruples so far in the closet to where they can't feel conscience anymore. But you or I, we never had $30 million, but I just can't see myself because I wasn't raised like that to lower myself to any man or any woman. Matter of fact,
Right.
to just lay prostrate and just say just abuse me, talk about my heritage
In a
you
public arena at that.
in the public, humiliate you,
In the public
and you
arena.
just
But,
sit there and smile and grin like a chessy cat and just take it.
but Lenny, that almighty dollar, that's all it's about.
Right.
That is all it's about. I think, like I said, when things could change to where, you got that local guy that's running for that city commission board, at the
Yeah.
at the civic league. You know what I'm saying? You doing it because you got it in your heart, because you
Right.
care.
Right.
That needs to transfer over into state and national politics.
Right.
Just because you have a 8-year degree in
Right.
biocommunications, economic gyrotricity,
Right.
and I'm just talking, that doesn't give you qualifications to care about some folks. You got that housewife that's home, that providing for her family and for her husband, is a good woman. That woman there might be more qualified than these people we've named, or
Exactly.
somebody else. And she might, she could have gone to, she sacrificed to put her husband through school or something,
Right.
So I'm just giving an example. So we just look at, it just, and that's just almost in any job, almost lots of jobs. You're looking at, oh, somebody has this and this and this and that, and then yet they don't know how to do this and this and this and that, but they got
Right.
this title by their name and these extra letters by their name. Which I'm not. Don't get me wrong, listeners out there, especially our young folks. Get all the education you can get. I'm not saying don't take the. I'm not. You do what you see fit in your eyes that's going to help you, yourself, your family, or you want to start a family. But sometimes that's not necessary. And I think we miss out on a lot of good things and a lot of good people, which in turn leads to getting what we have now, what we're dealing with now, that is shutting down Medicare and Medicaid.
Right. Yep. It's sad.
So,
but
Liddy, you know what? Let's pick it. Let's take a break and pick that back up. We'll be right back with more of the Soul of Generation X.
You are listening to the Soul of Generation X, and you can find the Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to the Soul of Generation X. First segment there, Lenny knocked it out of the park as usual, and we hope you all are learning and picking up on what we're bringing to you this week. And as always, so we appreciate you all. We appreciate our listeners. Just real quick, Lenny, have you just want to step out? Have you been hearing anything from our international fans out there? Have you heard?
Well, yeah, we getting. I've been getting a lot of good positive feedback back from our international family, as I like to call them now.
Family, okay.
From Ghana and the Philippines and Nigeria as well.
Mm-hmm. Did you say Thailand as well?
A couple in Thailand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. we're stretching out, stretching our legs out there. We got some listeners that are listening to what's going on in America, because basically what goes on in America really affects the world. So
yeah, I mean
that's good to know that they are in tune to what's happening, and of course there's a big time difference. So by the time we get done with this show, it's daytime over there, and evening time where we are. But yeah, I really appreciate those people, and I want to give a shout out and thank you to them for being consistent listeners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you think about it, we have an amazing or a high amount of American citizens in the Philippines and Thailand, and so like you said, what happens here affects a lot of things there. I mean, so that's a good point. Well, I wanted to move this second segment into something that we've been discussing on and off over the last few episodes, and it's about how do we get to this point that we're at now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's upset. They're hollering Donald Trump, F Donald Trump, F. And we can do that all day.
Right.
And you got these distractions, and we're just worried about why is he doing this and why did he do that and why did he say that? And in the background, you got your boys like Stephen Miller and all these other folks just cutting at it, just keep cutting at us, cutting away. And we worried about this, nonsense that Donald Trump is doing. And he might not even have an idea what's going on. You know what I mean?
All right.
So it's so in continuing our a little kind of how do we get to this point? Today, I want to talk about a group that played a pivotal yet often under-examined role in the shaping of the outcome of the election in 2024, the presidential election. Mm-hmm. And that would be our white female voters. And, we kind of look over the females sometime in various ways, in good or bad ways. And, but here, I'd say let's look at the national picture. Just give you some stats here. In 2024, white women made up approximately 37% of all voters. And among them, 53% of those white women casted their ballots for your commander-in-chief, Lenny, your exalted commander-in-chief, for Donald Trump. While 46% of those white women supported Kamala Harris. And we talked about that last week as well, as we've been talking about almost every episode. Am I correct?
Yeah, right.
Well, that 7-point margin was enough to help tilt the scales in Trump's favor in many critical battleground states, which you like to talk about. So a
Right.
lot, we're talking about the red and the blue and the various things, So our battleground states, and you know what those are. Most people know. So,
Mhm.
but now you might be thinking, hasn't that support always leaned conservative, being that they're white women? And you're not wrong, but there's more to it. When we
Right.
look deeper into this, we find a sharp educational divide, which is not always, the case, but it helps you see the shape of, it's good to use some science in this sometime. You know what I mean? So
That's right.
it's uh, let's look at it. Okay, among white women without a college degree, Trump enjoyed an overwhelmingly support of 63%. 63% of non-degreed white women voted for Donald Trump. Can you guess how many voted for Kamala Harris?
It had to be about 40 some percent.
You're close. 35%.
Okay.
35%. So 63 to 35. And that's a significant amount. Now, on the other hand, white women with college degrees flipped that script. They flipped it. So 58% of white women with college degrees chose Kamala Harris, while only 41% chose Donald Trump. So you see where we're going with this? And it's not always the case, but you kind of can see where we're going. It's and just always you don't have to always say, oh, a college degree, and not. Sometimes
Right.
that could be your knowledge of what you're taking on your own to learn yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It could be just you sitting down with, so that I think we can include that in there too. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But having a little bit of extra knowledge, you see the difference. 58% of white women of college degreed white women chose Kamala Harris. 41% sided with Donald Trump. Okay, so this this split kind of reminds us that race alone doesn't tell the whole story. You know, white, black, or as he said, oh, Kamala, you want to be, what are you, white black this week or this year? That nonsense he pulled out. But education is now one of the strongest predictors of political behavior. And that divide showed up clearly in how white women voted. So we can take that even a step further and let's look at some state level numbers for this. Okay, in Florida, which we know a lot of people in Florida, don't we?
Oh
In
yeah.
Florida, 58% of white women voted for Trump. In Texas, that number rose to 62%. In Philadelphia, it was much closer, 51% for Trump, 48% for Kamala Harris. And you wonder, what differences, what does this mean? Okay, these differences reflect more than just a personal preference. They showed us how regional culture, state level policies, and localized campaigns influence voting behavior. So, what does all this mean? You say, what does all this mean? Are we picking on white women? No, we're examining white women. We're trying to see what's going on, right, Lynn? I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're not picking on it, but we're trying to see what,
Right.
because we're checking stats here. So, this means that white women, especially those without college degrees, were instrumental in Donald Trump's 2024 victory. So their support helped secure the margins in states that mattered the most. And you know those states. We've talked about those already. And while we often focus on turnout among young voters, black voters, or suburban independents, we must also pay attention to this powerful, this powerful voting bloc, which is once again white women. So the 2024 election wasn't just a referendum on policies or parties; It was a mirror reflecting America's deep divides by race, by region, and especially by education. And if we want to understand where our democracy is heading, we need to understand how and why people vote the way they do. And in 2024, this presidential election in 2024, which is what we're dealing with now, white female voters made their voices heard, and those voices helped shape the direction of this entire nation. And we need to talk about something uncomfortable but necessary. And that's what we're here for, right, Lynn? I mean, we said no sugar.
I want to ask you a quick question before you,
go ahead.
Get into it. Now, was that broken down when you said the 63% and 58%? Now, did it also entail the age demographic, or was that just all?
That was white women in general.
Okay.
That was in general, from whether you're of the 18 up to 99.
Okay.
In general,
Gotcha.
But we did break that down last week. The age. Was there something significant that you wanted out of that, or what?
No, because like you said, the educated white women who are not only more educated but more financially stable or have better jobs, better health care. So I think that plays a factor in the voting. When they go and vote as well, who the candidate is.
Right.
So yeah, I can see where all that is mushed together, and the outcome is going to be okay. Yeah, you're more educated, you're higher earning, you're more
astute to what's going on.
As they like to portray elitists, which they're not elitists, but would vote a certain demographic. I mean, a certain way.
Right.
So, and it goes the opposite for those who are less educated. And I'm just breaking it down for the people to get it. Less educated, don't make a lot of money, bad health care, bad situation. Maybe no fault of their own. It's no fault of it. It is no fault of the people who are educated. Because I hear that a lot of times too. Oh, we're going to blame the elitists. We're going to blame the people on the East Coast, West Coast. No, no. Your state, your local municipality, your governor, your senator, your state senators, your state representatives, they're the ones who are making these depressed laws to keep you in that situation you're in. That's why you can't earn a lot of money. That's why you got poor health care. That's why you're uneducated. Not because of people on the East Coast or West Coast. All right? It's because of the people that you choose to represent you. Keep you in that situation.
And to add on to what you're saying there, too, it's kind of like one of those Alfred Hitchcock things. You're looking at what you just said just now. You said, okay, the difference of the educated women, college-educated women, and non-college educated women. Well, we kind of just talked about this in the last segment. Those non-college educated women are basically calling the shots for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
They're the ones who call the shots on this. Yeah. So here we are, we're reversing this, kind of what we talked about before. Yeah. They turned out in numbers to vote for what hell we're getting ready to, we're already experiencing some hell, but even more.
Yes.
So it didn't take a college degree for them to basically, in so many words, create policy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it. You just said it. Usually, I mean, it's kind of oh man, it's kind of flipped the way I'm saying it, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
People, those college educated people who voted for Kamala are sitting here in angst and anger from decisions from the non-college educated, no degree, blah blah. It just kind of just wild, just insane.
Yeah,
but I just wanted to add that in.
Coming from, no doubt.
Just it just flipped the script basically.
Right.
And you're like, how did they flip the script? They didn't go to here, they didn't go to there, they didn't get the graduate, they didn't do this, blah blah. So anyway, I just wanted to throw it in there. But and I want to pivot off of that and to say that we need to talk about something uncomfortable but necessary. If you want to look at it that way, I mean, on things that uncomfortable to us, but getting back to what I was saying about the white women who their stats on the way they voted in the 2024 presidential election, a majority of white women voted for Donald Trump, as we said, a man with a documented history of misogyny, who was found liable in court for sexual abuse, who has degraded women publicly and shamelessly for decades. And yet, and I'll say once again, one more again, and yet they voted for him anyway. So what does that choice that they made say about their character, right? So let's be honest. It reveals a lot. It shows that for many personal reasons, comfort was placed above collective conscience. That policy, preferences, and cultural familiarity were deemed more important than respect for themselves, for other women, and for survivors of abuse. And that's not just a political decision, it's a moral one, right?
Right.
And it gets worse. It gets even deeper. That vote exposes internalized misogyny, where some women have accepted a version of the world that tells them male power is normal.
Right.
That abuse is just noise.
Right.
And that they shouldn't expect better. And you know what we're talking about here, lady? We're trying to get at, like I said, how did we get to this point? We sit there and go, Donald Trump. These are the people who put him there. You see him every day. How could they do this? Why could they? Well, not everybody, not all white. But it reveals a sort of tribalism over truth, where race and class identity became more important than gender solidarity. I'll say that again. The reason why they did what they did, race and class identity became more important than gender solidarity. Too many of the white women chose whiteness over womanhood. Too many of them. They chose to stand with a patriarchy rather than push back against it. They stood beside a man who openly disrespected them because he made them feel seen in other ways. So no matter what, my friend, my black friends, and so-and-so, my marginalized friends, tribalism and more made them say, forget that.
Right.
I'm going here and check this box for this misogynist, right?
Yeah.
But make no mistake, that is complicity. Right. It is the quiet agreement that says your pain is less important than my tax bracket, right?
Right.
It's the passive shrug that tells a little girl watching, this is just how men are. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about white women who voted for him.
Right.
And this kind of voting behavior doesn't just reflect political values.
No.
It reflects a character that puts comfort above courage, fear above progress, and silence above justice. So, to every white woman who made that choice, I say this. You don't get to say you care about women while voting for the man who harms them. And I'll say that again. You don't get to say you care about women while voting for the man who harms them. You don't get to talk about faith and values while backing cruelty, abuse, and corruption. You don't get to claim innocence while actively enabling harm. And I'll say it again. You don't get to claim innocence while actively enabling harm. You follow me? We're in a moment where we must choose what kind of people we want to be. Will we stand for justice even when it's inconvenient? Will we protect the most vulnerable even when it costs us something? Will we finally demand a politics that centers dignity, not division? And you know we're dealing with division.
Oh, yeah.
So because if not now, when? So basically, lady, that's a continuation of how did we get to this point? And our listeners, we're bringing this to you because we don't want you sitting home or sitting there, oh, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I guarantee you half of the time, 3/4 of the time, doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
He knows that he brought out the evil. We'll give him that credit. He brought out the under how do you say it? The hidden evil. And the figures I gave you here, these white women who voted for him, who were major in getting him elected, he brought that out. So that's what I'm trying to do. We're trying to break it to you so you can see how did we get here, the backstory.
Well,
so
I just
go ahead. Let me say. Go ahead.
I want to add this real quick to what you were saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
The women's suffrage, when that movement was going on in I think the 40s, 50s, when they were struggling so hard to get the right to vote, and they were scoffed at by men. They were laughed at. They were prosecuted. Some of them were even killed. For the suffrage movement. But to see where their plight have come from, and how they had to fight, claw, die, face self-humiliation, and then to turn right around in this day and age and to give it all up again. You fought so hard to be noticed, not to say noticed, that's the wrong word, to be respected, to be seen as an equal, to be seen as someone who deserved the same amount of pay as a man for doing the same type of work, but you give it right back to them. Humiliation, less than a woman. Stay in your place, yada, yada, yada. And all that you worked for during the suffrage movement, you turn around and you give it back to this scumbag. For what? For what? That's the question. For what? What are you going to get out of it, giving up everything you earned that you worked so hard for, and just give it to a guy who care less about you, and you give it up? So that's what baffled me. And another thing that I would even add on to that.
Yeah, good.
Why would, if your daughter says she met a guy and you found out that guy was just like Donald Trump, what woman or man in the right mind would want their daughter to be with a guy like him? Now, granted, if he forget the money part of it, just ordinary guy. All right. How many of these women or men would want their daughters to marry a guy who was arrogant, who grabs other women, treats other women with disrespect. And in
Self-centered.
Donald Trump words, grab them by the pussy,
Mm-hmm.
humiliates them, degrades them.
Mm-hmm.
How many women, men, would want their daughters to lower themselves to be with someone like that? I mean, the money be damned. I mean, where's your pride at? Where's women's pride? Come on. This is a movement that the women should embrace. All women should embrace and run with it. Whether you're educated or not, this affects women, especially white women and black women. Come on. This is it's sad to see it happen because it doesn't have to be this way. All right. You know, here we had a woman running for the highest office in the land, and we couldn't get enough women to come out and vote for her. And that's sad. That's sad for women. And to your point, it speaks volumes. You know, it shows me, like it showed you, that prejudice won the day. Prejudice won the election.
Yeah. They feel that their, as we spoke about last week, their white dominance is being threatened. And once again, I prefaced that with not all white women. We're speaking of that group, you know, that particular group. Our statistics are within a certain group, so we're not, you know, not all white women, but it's the thing of, and I see some of these women, like, you know, come to an election that were just talking about him like a rock star.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, first thing is like, how can they be so insensitive? Blah, blah, blah. You hear, well, when you're worried about when racism takes over, you know, and hate, you didn't worry about nothing else. You know, you just don't want to see that black woman in that office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which comes down from years and generations of multi-generational hate.
Yeah.
So, you know, you heard your daddy talking about them ends, and you heard your granddaddy talking about them ends, and you know, you didn't never, you know, before you know it, you talking about them ends. And, but then, you know, you always have that person that was able to step over that, and you see them once in a while, and they say, you know what, I go to this family reunion, I go here, I go to this get together holiday, and my uncle this, or so-and-so, my aunt so-and started talking about ends, and I just got up and left, because I'm not going to be you know, you hear, you know, you just applaud that kind of thing, and that's what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying why? It's a hatred of, and I would even say, Lenny, we can take it back 300-400 years. You know, you white women back then knew their quote unquote husbands, right?
Right.
Out there sneaking around in the slave cabins.
Yeah.
Okay. So then before you know it, she like, hey, well, he doing that thing, I'm gonna do that thing too.
Right.
You know, but and you know, the gist of it, you know, going way back, that generational mix, you know, that guy you called your husband, you know, that, you know, he out there running around in the slave cabin. So, you know, you kind of people, and the people that aren't educated on that, know what we're talking about.
Right.
You know, look it up, and then you'll see that we're not just, you know, just bantering about, you know, that happened, and that could cause generational effects.
Yep.
And I truly believe that. And I've always believed, I don't always talk about it, you know, in a public setting, but I've always truly believed that, you know what I'm saying, Lynn?
Right. Oh yeah.
That has caused that. There's nothing more, I don't say nothing more, but if you've ever seen the hate that some white women have for black women. It's one of the deepest hates that you can see. And on the other hand, if you ever seen a white woman has love for a black woman, a co-worker, that's one of the most powerful loves there is. But the hate side of it is really very strong. And I always have believed that it went all the way back to when slaves, these black women, first got here and were treated as property, and that Master so-and-so was out there with them. And we know that.
Right.
And Master Julie was inside wondering where Master husband was at.
Right.
And that transcended on down. So, that's just something to think about. Some people might say it's far-fetched, but it's not. We know it's not far-fetched.
Right. Exactly.
So, and that's, good addition, add on there, but to what we're talking about, because the subject tonight is it's continuing, continuation of how do we get to this point and concentrating on a particular element. And the element tonight is white women.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What'd you
say? No, I said the element is still what we talk about, to the point of, the decision that people made and the decision that people are going to have to make in the future to whether or not we're going to have a democracy that works for everyone in this country, or we're still going to go down the same path.
Yes.
They always say, the old saying that you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we have an opportunity, be it a year from now, to make a difference, make a change in our political spectrum, whether you're black, white, man or woman, to start turning this big ocean liner before we end up crashing to this iceberg called Trumpism.
Are you referring to the midterms?
I'm referring to the midterms.
Okay.
And this might be a little bit off the subject, but we hear about everybody bitching and moaning about what the Democrats did, why they lost the election, and Joe Biden was incompetent, and this guy.
Are you referring to the Tucker Carlson fiasco, or no, Jake Tapper? Excuse me.
Jake Tapper.
X that Jake Tapper.
Yeah. The ridiculous book.
Yes.
Now you got his press secretary, Jean Pierre, Biden's press secretary. Mm-hmm. She's writing a book now, and she's renouncing her Democratic affiliations.
Wait a minute. You say she's denouncing?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard.
Yeah, that was breaking news today.
Breaking news today?
Yeah. Jean, the black lady, that was his.
Yeah. I don't know. You don't. Yeah.
She's writing a book, trashing Biden as well. So,
come on.
And, I just, but,
come on, Lenny.
Yeah.
May I tell you? Hey, listeners, let me tell you, Lenny has feelers all across the world. He gets the news before MSNBC, right. CBS. I'm telling you, Lenny brings. Wow, this is.
So she.
And he know he's not going to give it up. He's not going to tell us the sources. So
she's right.
We just got to go with it.
It'll be out in October. It's actually, as much as Joe Biden stood by her, she comes out with a book that's going to trash Joe Biden. But those people are bottom feeders. They never was, they don't have any, as far as I'm concerned, listen, you're an opportunist, you're writing a book, you're trying to make money, screw you, all right? So my thing is, I'm not trying to look backwards what Joe Biden did or Joe Biden didn't do. Joe Biden was a hell of a president, and I'll stand up and say that in front of anybody.
Yes, sir.
All
Amen.
Right? But what we have to do, I'm not, Democratic Party, this and that. Listen, we got a lot of good deep bench. We got a deep bench. You play baseball and football,
Yes,
we
sir.
have a deep bench. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So my thing is that we have to turn this ship around before we crash into this damn iceberg. And once the hole's in the ship, it's going down. Everybody's going down. And I'm pissed off with these MFers for getting us in this position. Okay, I really am, because we all got to take a haircut. We all got to get a fade in this. So going forward, I just want us to, take inventory on what's coming up, because it's never too late, never too early to start looking ahead. All right, we have an opportunity here next year to put the clamps on this guy, and I don't want people like Chuck Schumer and some of these other people up there talking about we're going to send a strongly worded letter. And I don't want to hear that shit. I want people that are going to give action. All right.
Exactly.
I want people that are going to get out there and fight, going to scratch, claw, cuss, spit, and throw the backer. All right. That's the kind of people we need out there on the front line. We need those Jasmine Crockett's. We need 100 Jasmine Crockett's out there.
Oh man,
in the mix.
Jazz.
We need 100 of myself and 100 of you out there with her. All right.
AOC. Don't forget AOC.
AOC. Now. We need those Bernie people out there. We need AOC.
Yes.
We don't need Chuck Schumer out there with his glasses hanging on his nose like a college professor reading a history book. That BS not going to work anymore. Those days are over and done with.
Lenny, I'm very impressed. I love Eric Swalwell too. He is incredible.
We need those Eric Swalwells.
Eric Swalwell calls it like it is. He calls balls and strikes. Yes. He calls it just like it is.
Yes.
Loves some Eric Swalwell.
Yeah, we don't need that we don't need that just we will win. We don't need that. All right?
No.
We need action. No. We need ass kickers and name takers.
That's it.
That's what we need.
We can't continue the rising above when they go low. Right. We can't. We gotta come straight.
Going low. We
gotta come straight at them, just like that center, that nose guard.
Yeah,
you hear that nose guard hitting that center just straight up.
Yeah,
just you hear that pad just clack clack.
And I don't want to hear another politician talking about they're afraid. All right, if you're afraid, give it your position. Let's put people in there that's not afraid. All right, this is not time to be afraid. All right. I'm afraid of what Donald Trump. Listen, F that. All right, we don't need you to be afraid. If you're afraid, get the hell out the way. All right.
Exactly.
We need warriors. We need people that want to get some battle scars. We need people that have been through the battle scars that want battle scars. All right.
Yes, sir.
We don't need these people up there talking about, well, Trump might do this and soft talking. We need people that are loud, that are boisterous. All right.
Come straight at them like Al Green, right?
Come straight at them. All right, like a heat-seeking missile. All right, so this is not the time to be pussyfooting around. All right,
exactly.
It's not the time for people to say, I'm trying to be. It's both sides. Hell no, it's not both sides. It's one side.
No,
it's one side. These MFers on the other side have put us in a position. They put you in a bad position. They put me in a bad position. They put our kids in a bad position.
Say it.
They put our damn grandkids in a bad position.
Say it, Lenny. Say it.
And we got to pay for this. All right.
Say it.
So if you're afraid, if you're scared, just say you're scared and get the hell out the way. Let's get people elected that's going to get the job done.
Amen. Amen.
I'm sorry I went on that rant, but
man, I'm in some Casamigo right now. You should have stopped, man. I'm just getting warmed up.
I'm into my Casamigos though.
Man, look at you. Hey, you just getting warmed up. Wow. That is listeners, Lenny he just summed it all up. Seriously, summed it all up literally in a matter of 3 minutes of what needs to be done, of what should be done every day. I mean, really. I mean, you need to rewind this back after the show and listen to this. I mean, it's almost like in the locker room, you getting that song in the locker room we usually listen to, you getting that "We Are the Champions." You hearing that, I was, while you were saying that, that's what I heard in the back of my
Right.
I heard some "We Are the Champions,"
Right.
Yeah, but seriously though, that is so right.
You remember that movie we used to watch when we were kids called Walking Tall?
Oh yeah, Buford Puzzle.
Buford Puzzle.
Yeah.
We need some Buford Puzzles.
Yes.
Take that big oak tree stick.
Yeah.
And start wearing people's asses out on the political front. All right.
On the political forefront. Yeah.
On the political
exactly.
forefront.
Yes.
And I'm not promoting violence. This is not what I'm promoting.
Violence.
Metaphorically, right. I'm just saying we need people to carry the big stick in their walk and in their talk.
Right.
Don't be afraid
Speak
to say
softly
what you gotta say.
and carry that big stick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back it up. You say something, put your name on it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
Yes.
You are
and Lenny, I believe you have come up once again with title of the episode. Do you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, but I believe he's come up with the title of the episode. I mean, that inspiring speech we just heard, that 3 minute heavy rant, educational rant, as we might say. But yes, I just had to add that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that, walking tall.
Walking tall. We need.
He's telling you what you need to do. Yes,
get that oak tree, carve it up, so it fit good in your hand.
Yeah, and be serious that we were joking around, but what all that encompasses is, calling your, first of all, they say call your representative, call your senator. We know that, okay, but do it. Even if that senator is somebody not of your party, still call that office or email that office, because those emails and calls go on a record. Right. So still call. We know that, but what are some other things that, in being an activist? Because basically what you just said just now is being an activist. What is the best way, young, old, getting off of work, you got that 9 to 5, you're like, I don't know if I got time. Being an actor, what do you suggest? I know you've been in this political, field, in this real realm, this round of political, this fold. What do you suggest to do in being an activist, being a good activist?
I thought about this for a while. I did a little examination after we lost the election. But what I suggest was that we, as an individual, get out there. I don't care if you got to get on the back of a pickup truck with a bullhorn in your hand and ride down your neighborhood. And if you're running for office, this is what you need to tell them. Hey, listen up, folks. This is so-and-so. I'm running for such and such. And this is why I'm running. And I'm speaking to you, that truck driver, that guy that's driving that cement truck. And I'm speaking to you, that guy that's laying bricks every day. I'm talking to you, that woman who's cleaning houses and working at Waffle House on the third shift to make ends meet. All right, meet me at the corner. We're going to have a corner revival, because I'm going to tell you why you need to vote for me. All right.
Right.
Meet me at the stop sign. We're going to have a meeting at the stop sign. Okay. I'm going to people's doors, houses, knocking on them. Those days are over with. All right. You gotta make people come out. You gotta tell them why you want to come out. Get them out there. Meet them at the swimming pool. Meet them at the beach. Talk to them. It's crazy. I told somebody, they said, well, you run for office, you're supposed to, why would I wear a 3-piece suit out on the damn beach and I'm trying to campaign? I'm going out there in swimming trunks and a t-shirt with a flash in my hand with my cool shades on, saying, hey, vote for me, and this is why. You want good water, you tired of ship dumping crap in the water in the ocean that you got to swim in? Well, this is what I want to do about it. I ain't going to hold you up, but think about me. All right?
Right.
And when you call up these politicians, when you call it, don't people please don't call the office. Well, this is so and so, and I just wanted to tell you that. No, hey, this is me, and I don't like the crap that you guys are doing. I got to drive down some bumpy ass roads every day. Get off your ass and come fix my roads. All right, I'm gonna keep calling, and I'm gonna leave the same message over and over again till you're gonna call me back.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And he's being straight up. That's what you got to
straight
do.
up with you.
You can't sugarcoat this and go fly high while they flying low. You got to. That's called meeting them straight. That's head on meeting right there. That's
head on collision.
Straight up head up collision. And that's what you got to. We talk about Republicans and Democrats. That's one thing they've managed to do.
Yeah.
Over the years, the Republicans, they keep coming. And I heard somebody say something about, when they think, how do you say it? When they feel that they've won or something, they don't stop.
No.
They continue digging, like pouring salt water in a wound. Yeah. They continue and us as Democrats and some progressives, rather non-Republicans, I just say that, we get a little bit, we slow up,
Right.
We won that. Like everybody said, we elected a black president.
Yeah.
That didn't end racism.
No.
Because we elected Barack Obama. That did. We ended racism. We elected a black president. Racism is over.
Right.
Now you switch that over to the Republican side, man, they'd have elected Barack Obama and elected 25 more.
Right.
Somewhere. Right. What I mean? That's kind of off, but I'm just being,
But and the thing is, Isaac, is that people got to. It's like this. When I played sports, I stayed in the weight room.
Right.
I worked my butt off.
Yes, sir.
I would be in bed at night thinking that, damn, let me get up. Somebody out there outworking me.
Yeah.
Somebody out there putting a little bit more extra time in.
Mm-hmm.
I would take my behind outside in the backyard in that shed and start lifting.
Yeah.
Working out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Somebody out there, and that's what we got. We can't allow that to happen. We have to outwork the Republicans. We have to outwork those idiots that are serving, that are ruining this country. All right,
ruining this
country. So like I said, there's Eric Swalwell's, Jasmine Crockett's, AOC, the Bernie Sanders, all those people who give a damn about this democracy, who going to stand the fight and say, I don't give a damn what you think about me. I'm going to say what I got to say. Mm-hmm. As my grandmother, my great aunt used to say, she said, I don't care what you think about me. You can kiss my so-and-so in the crowd. But I'm going to tell you like it is. And that's what people got to stand up and do. You can't be bullied and shut down by everybody. No, everybody don't do it. It's y'all MFers that do it. All right?
Yes.
You're the ones that's causing this. You're the ones that got us in this problem. All right?
Yes.
And my thing, listen, you don't want to hear my message. I'm not trying to convince you. All right? Since you don't want to hear it, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to wake my people up and get their asses out there to the poll and vote.
Yes.
Because when that 90 million can wake up and take their ass to vote, we can win this. We can win it. For that 35% that's stuck in the mud with Donald Trump, stay stuck in the mud. All right?
Stay in the mud. Stay
in the mud.
I agree. Stay in there. I hear you, lady. I hear you talking. I hear you. And that 90 million, we got to work on that 90 million. We got to work on that because that's just an unreal figure to just not go and do anything to say, I don't think that either one of them has what I want, so I'm just going to stay home. And now you stay home and you're going to lose your Medicaid.
Right.
You're going to lose your doctor.
Right.
You're going to lose prescriptions. Right. You're going to lose all kind of stuff because you couldn't mark that box for a black woman.
Right.
Who was here to help you.
Right.
You know the thing about Kamala, Lenny, she a true pioneer politician, as they say, as you're supposed to be. When you're running for something, you don't get up there and say, "All right, I'm just going to help y'all, my people. I'm up here. I'm gonna give this to y'all." No, Kamala was up there saying, I'm going to help everybody. I want us all to prosper."
Yeah.
She didn't get up there. When did you hear her get up there and say, "You know what? I'm just going to this particular bills, this blah blah blah. I'm just here to help my people"? No, you never heard her speak like that.
No.
Matter of fact, she helped construct the bill, create the bill for those farmers that are sitting wet eyes and sitting on top of their tractors now with rotten fields of food.
Yeah.
Come on, yeah, I voted for Donald Trump, and I don't know if I wouldn't do that again, which is a lie. But
Yeah.
she helped create the bill to fund the grants that they get and help them.
Yeah.
She didn't go, I'm going to help. I'm not going to help them. I'm going to help everybody.
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 Yeah.
And man,
Well, that's
these people are cruel, man. These people,
yeah. They, like I said, man,
they evil, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. This is not cotton ball, soft tissue.
No.
This is not the time for that. All right. Like I said, I say Chuck Schumer because I can't stand Chuck Schumer because not that I think he's a bad person, but he's a bad political person.
Okay.
And he really needs to go. He doesn't need to lead the Democratic Party on the Senate side anymore because he's too soft.
Right.
He's softer than store-bought cotton. He's awful. He's an awful leader. He has no spine. He has no backbone. And right now, we need people with leaders with spines and backbones and some giddy up. All right, they got to have some giddy up about them.
Yeah, I mean, and to just because it happens to be Pride Month, one of the strongest figures one of my favorites that we could not continue this conversation without bringing up my man Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah,
an incredible, not just a scholar, but veteran.
Yeah.
His knowledge of it's incredible.
Right.
And they're talking about Pete running, for president. Right. And and the first thing you hear, oh, we don't know if we could have a gay president.
Right.
When you look at this man, you're not looking at what his lifestyle is, what he does. You're looking at him helping you.
Right.
That's what you're looking at. You're looking at the guy that goes out there every day and beats the pavement for you. He cares about his country. He cares about people in general.
Yeah.
And it's just, like I said, I brought him up specifically with this being Pride Month, but you never hear him go into that to cause you to feel for him, as if he's going through a marginalized situation.
Right.
He comes at you. He goes on. I don't watch Fox, but I've seen clips. He goes at anybody. He can talk to anybody about anything.
He can. He's knowledgeable. He's a veteran.
Great personality.
Veteran. Yeah.
I mean, just a stand-up person.
He was a mayor of a city.
Yeah. And when you see him, you see that when I hear him talking and just white guy, I picture that. Some of the good buddies you had back in high school, that just you trusted, your boys, and that's where you see him. You're not worried about what this man does in his private life. That's not what this is about.
Right.
And that's what these mofos that we've been talking about, worried about, just ridiculousness.
Right. Well,
and then every day we're seeing one of them get picked up for sexual perversion
Yeah.
or something, at this mega church. I saw another guy today. It's like every day.
Well, yeah.
What are you preaching to these people? And you committing some of just the most heinous acts.
Yeah.
But you're gonna say, "Oh, this guy, you can't vote for that gay guy." Blah 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 blah.
Right.
It's ridiculous, this man.
Well, I mean, I had a conversation with on my social media account with guy I coached with for years. Who the Democrats got? They got Pete Butt Plug and all this other kind of nonsense. But he's a good Christian guy. So I had to call him out on his hypocrisy. I had to call him out because of his lies and his fake religion. All right, because if you look at you're not looking at the context and the character of a man by peeping inside his bedroom window.
Right.
I would think you're a pervert when you do that kind of crap.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Totally.
So,
but you're trying to hide that behind Jesus, God,
right?
And this particular scripture that you picked out to fit what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah. I had a lady get mad at me on social media because I told her, basically I put a post up where, why are we trying to push for religion to be in school for kids to follow it? We can't even get people to do right with religion in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Why is there a big push? I'm a believer in separation of church and state.
Yes.
Putting up the Ten Commandments.
Yes, sir.
Putting this up. That's not going to make kids or people act any better.
No.
Okay, it starts at home. You want your faith increase? You teach your kid at home. You take them to church. All right. Take them to Sunday school. Take them to the synagogues. But you can't get mad because we have a separation of church and state. Because once you do that, you open up yourselves to all other religions to come in. Every last one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, this and that. It was better when it was, no. What do you mean it was better? It was, it was better because people had a little bit of respect for one another.
Right.
But you guys have totally just lost it. You just
lost it all.
Threw the book away. You lost all kind of dignity. It wasn't that goodness left. You left goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You left goodness.
Yeah. I mean, you've lost it.
Yeah. You left
you've
goodness.
Lost it, and
you left
and Donald Trump helped you. The real you come out.
Yeah.
Made you say that, hey, I don't have to hide this hate, this prejudice, this racism no more, because my white God, Donald Trump, told me I can do what he does.
Right.
I can just come out and be ignorant and say what I want to say and do what he does. Yeah, like even if I don't make but 1/8 of a percent of a million that he makes, I'm going to do
exactly.
I'm going to do what he says, even though he don't care about where I live.
Right.
He would not come to see me. He wouldn't have anything to do with me.
Right.
But I'm going to follow my white God because he said it's okay. I'm going to put his picture on my back windshield. I'm going to put it on the side back, the rear passenger side. I'm going to put his face on it. I'm going to plaster his name on my bumper.
Yeah.
I'm going to do all of this so he can come and take my Medicare.
Yep. I'm going to buy all his merchandise, everything.
I'm going to buy everything, but I'm going to support him, and I love him, but give me your Medicare. Give it to me right now. Yeah. Give it to me. Like Rick James would say, give it to me, baby. Give it to me. That's and you. But I tell you, Lynn, I have literally seen I think some people are going through that. Well, I don't think they're going through the FAFO, but I think some people are in shock right now.
We're good.
I saw the first flag today that I've seen literally a couple of months. And this one guy, he had a flag on the back of his car. They had some bullshit about the flag was the what was the flag we had? Well, we had the 13 colonies.
Oh yeah, that with Betsy
Now
Ross.
you see a joker driving around in an F-150 with a 13 colony flag, big, about 5 feet. What is he telling me?
Did he have a "Don't Tread on Me" flag up on it?
Well, he had the "Don't Tread on Me" on the probably on the license plate.
Okay.
But he got this big flag on the back of his truck, and I'm trying to look at his face. He looked about as dumb as that tree I was looking at on the other side. I mean, I'm just looking at his. I'm like, what is he telling me?
He's telling you. He's trying to tell you that he's an originalist. First of all,
okay,
he adheres to the Constitution. He doesn't want any black and brown people in his country. He's taking his country back. That's what he's doing.
He don't want any of the black and brown people in, but he want them in that back of that kitchen when he go to that restaurant.
Right.
And he want to stop by Uncle Charlie's barbecue down on 6th Street.
Right.
To get some barbecue.
Right. He don't want any of those foreigners, those Mexicans. He don't want any Asians in this country. He don't want anybody that ain't white, purebred white.
Exactly.
Pure Caucasian white. Lily white.
Lily white. That's what he does not want that. But for goddamn by God Almighty, you better be in there, have that barbecue on that grill, brother.
Yeah.
Cause you make the best barbecue the south side of Mason-Dixon.
Exactly.
I'm laughing, but that's how some of these jokers think, man.
Right.
You gonna cook for me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna come by to your restaurant.
Yeah.
Cause I know you back there cooking. I'm gonna go see you at the football game, run that ball. I'm gonna go see you at the basketball game, shoot that 3, drive through the middle. But when I need some policy created to help everybody survive in this country, not you, buddy. Not you, my dear woman. No. Not you, my dear Kamala. I'm going to put an imbecile in office.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a literal imbecile.
Right.
I wonder what Alfred Hitchcock would say about this. What kind of story would he do on this? You old Hitchcock fan, you know?
Yeah.
Dark Shadows, Alfred Hitchcock, you do.
Alfred Hitchcock would come in with that music, and he would talk like this, right? Well, the story today is about a country who has lost its way.
Oh, man.
Who put an imbecile in the White House. We're going to see how that plays out.
Liddy, I didn't know you had that drum in you, man. I didn't know you had the drum in, man. What you doing? Stand up, open nights?
Open night.
Oh, man. That was good. I like
watched enough Alfred Hitchcock.
You watched enough Alfred to know.
Yeah,
you're right. We are dealing with an episode and the government. Wow, that was good. I like that, man.
I tell you, we've got our hands full, no doubt. And I tell people, me as a coach for many years, when I know we ran up against a formidable foe, I said, listen, hey guys, don't sugarcoat them, tell you the truth. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to work our ass off to win this tonight. We're in hostile territory. All right. We're against a team that they don't want to lose. And by golly, we can't lose.
Right.
All right. So we're as a movable force, irresistible force against a movable object. Something got to
Right.
give, and that's how we got to look at it. They don't want to lose, and we can't lose. So that's how we got to go at it. You know, all the analogies and hyperboles and all that. You know, it's time to strap up. It's time
Yeah.
to, you know, as they say, and I used to tell my guys, please don't get offended when I say this. Grab your nuts. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get.
You know,
Hey.
we gotta. Ain't no time for niceness.
No time.
No time to be scared. All right.
No.
If you taco chicken, then you need to go. Because only taco chicken's chicken out. So, you know, to all my friends, to all our friends and listeners and people on the Democratic side, stop listening to all this BS they're telling you about, you know, what they know well about the Democratic Party. Listen,
Right.
I'm a proud Democrat. I don't shy away from it. And I have voted for good Republicans
Right.
with good policies. All right? I just want that out there. But this guy, I would never support.
Never.
Never. People say, oh, you never said, nope, I won't support him. He can't smooth me. He can't. He's a criminal that's letting criminals out of jail left and right. We're in a lawless country. We're in a country that has no laws. And I feel so bad for the good police officers who are out there doing their work, the good FBI agents who are out there doing the work, and criminals, white collar criminals, getting off. Getting off.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's all I got to say, man.
Yeah. Oh man, that's right on the money, Lee. You know, we say all these things to kind of, you know, put a perimeter around what's going on. But when we break it all down at the end of the day, taking all of the politically correctness out of it, all of the code switching out of it, we break it down at the end of the day, it's straight up good old fashioned hatred and racism.
Right.
I don't like the way you look. I don't like the where you came from. You don't look like me. I don't want you here.
Right.
And whatever I can do to be against you, I'm going to do it by the teachings of my great white God, Donald Trump.
Yep.
Because he's given me the power to come out and be the jackass that I am today.
Yeah.
The racist jackass that I am today. And I give him all praises. Amen. God dang it, that's what it is. I mean, that's all it is, brother.
Hey, I just want to before we get out of here.
Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
I just want to say we got a thumbs up from our friends in the Philippines. They give us a big thumbs up.
Okay, okay.
They're tuning in via YouTube or internet somehow. So they just gave us a big thumbs up. The whole office at the Burgundy, I think I'm saying it right, at the Burgundy.
Burgundy.
And that's located in Cagayan de Oro. Hope I'm saying it right.
And that's in the Philippines?
That's in the Philippines. That's in the Mimosa. Yeah. They're in the Providence. So we got some good friends there that are in tune or have checked in with us and give us a big thumbs up. So
very good. Very
glad to have you guys, and we wish y'all the best there, and maybe we could get a call in from the Burgundy, and having to chime in and tell us what they like.
We can arrange that. Yeah.
Yes.
If they're willing to do that, we can set our schedules up. Yeah, we definitely could do that.
Right. Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to them. Thank them for tuning in.
That's outstanding. We definitely Appreciate that. We appreciate the support. All our
Yes,
folks, our family out there, as you say, we appreciate the support.
our
It
family. Our
makes a
family.
big difference.
That's the Far East. It will be our
Yeah.
family in the Far East.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I mean, uh, so definitely, if we can get y'all to do that for us, um, give us a 5-star rating. Tell us what you like, and that will help us to continue to be here, educating you all on what's real. You know what I mean, Lynn? I think you could call us. We are the soul of Generation X, but we are the What's Real podcast as well. We're not here to sugarcoat. We don't have any parameters to stand behind and be weak. We're here to tell you what's real, and that's the best way I could sum that up. So we just want to once again thank my co-host Lenny. Uh, his invaluable insights to this shipwreck, as he mentioned earlier. This shipwreck uh,
Yes.
that we need to be walking tall to get rid of. But this terrible shipwreck that we are on right now as a nation. Uh, we appreciate his insights on that. Very creative, very clever on that, Lenny,
Yes.
as usual. And once again, we want to thank our listeners, not just our international listeners, but our local listeners
Yes.
and our listeners in United States as well. We
Yes.
see you all on the stats, and like I said, we definitely appreciate y'all. And you know, uh, it's just amazing how we could reach people. That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to reach folks and let you all know what's really happening, what you can do, and to to derail this train that's going out of whack, man. It's just unreal. So with that, I just want to say, Lenny, you have anything else you want to add?
No, I just want everybody to be vigilant. Stay prepared, stay ready. Do your homework. Keep in tune with what's happening. Remember, I said these two things. If the bill is long, you know it's wrong. And if you see the miles moving, they're lying to you.
Great, yes, and you can actually see those bills, as Lenny's saying. Like, you can go to the government sites, House of Representatives sites, and this is all free. You can go to the Senate sites, and you could actually watch these bills throughout the day. Watch the House and the Senate convene, and then the extras come. But you can actually see these things. So yes, as Lenny said, being vigilant and just being straight up hardcore. I'm just gonna say it. Just being, not taking any, no, we're not taking any prisoners here. We don't have time. We don't have time. We're like I said, we're coming for you. We're coming for you. So get ready.
Yep.
We want to thank you once again for tuning in to the soul of Generation X. We appreciate y'all. We thank you so much. Take care.
You are listening to the Soul of Generation X, and you can find the Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast. We thank you for tuning in, and please click that subscription button so that you'll be aware of all new shows and updates.